My daughter stood in my living room, waving the bank transfer receipt in my face. $3.8 million. Every cent her mother left behind. "Thanks for the house, Dad," she said, laughing. "Don't worry, I'll visit you at the nursing home." She didn't know I'd been a trust attorney for 37 years. She didn't know her mother, and I had one final conversation before the cancer took her. And she had no idea what that single phone call I was about to make would do to everything she'd just stolen. Hello, friends. Thanks for joining us at True Experience. If this story resonates with you, please hit that like button and subscribe to stay connected with more real-life tales of betrayal and justice. Drop a comment below telling us where you're watching from. We love hearing from our community across the USA, Canada, and around the world. Before we begin, I need to say this. What you're about to hear is my account of what happened in my family. I've changed some details for privacy, but the heart of it is true. This involves legal matters, family conflict, and decisions I made that some might question. I'm not here to tell you what's right or wrong. I'm just here to tell you what happened. Now, let me take you back. My name is Christopher. I'm 71 years old now, and I'm telling you this from a small apartment in Portland, Oregon, where I moved after everything fell apart. But the story really begins 43 years ago when I married a woman named Catherine. Catherine was a public school teacher. I was finishing law school. We met at a community center fundraiser where she was organizing a book drive, and I was volunteering to avoid studying for the bar exam. She had this way of looking at you like you were the only person in the room. We married in 1982, and I joined a small firm specializing in estate planning and trusts. We tried for children right away. Month after month, year after year, nothing happened. By 1987, we'd been through every test available. The doctor said Catherine's chances were nearly zero. I watched something break in her during those years. She stopped talking about the future, stopped making plans. Then in 1989, she came home from school one afternoon and told me she was pregnant. I didn't believe her at first. I actually asked if she was sure. She just handed me the test and started crying. Our daughter, Emily, was born in February 1990. Catherine poured everything into that child. Everything. I was working 60-hour weeks building my practice, and Catherine was the one who stayed up all night with fevers, attended every school event, taught Emily to read before kindergarten. I love my daughter, but Catherine lived for her. I made partner in 1995. Started handling larger estates, more complicated trusts. The money got better. We bought a house in a good neighborhood. Put Emily in private school. Catherine kept teaching because she said she needed it. Needed those other children in her life too. Emily grew up smart, sharp as a knife. She went to college at NYU, law school at Georgetown. I was proud, but I also noticed something. Every time she came home, she spent less time with us. More time on her phone, networking, building contacts. She married an investment banker named Ryan in 2015. Big wedding. We paid for most of it. In 2016, Catherine was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. Stage 3. I took a leave from the firm. Catherine went through surgery, chemotherapy, radiation. Emily visited twice during the first round of treatment. She lived 4 hours away, but she visited twice in 8 months. She called more often, but the calls got shorter. Always something urgent at work. Always some crisis with Ryan's family. Catherine never complained about it. Not once. But I'd see her check her phone after chemo sessions, waiting for Emily to call back. The cancer went into remission for 14 months. Then it came back. Stage 4. Multiple organs. The doctors gave her 6 to 10 months. She lasted 7. During those final months, Catherine did something I didn't expect. She met with her financial advisor without me. Her parents had died in 2003 and left her nearly $2 million. She'd invested well, never touched it. By 2018, it had grown to $3.8 million. One night, about 3 weeks before she died, Catherine asked me to sit with her. We were in our bedroom. She could barely get out of bed by then. "I'm leaving everything to Emily," she said. I didn't argue. Honestly, I assumed that's what would happen. "But I need you to set up properly," she continued. "As a trust, I want you to structure it. so she gets distributions over time, not all at once. I'm a trust attorney. This is what I do. But I asked her why. Because I'm afraid she'll waste it, Catherine said. And because I need her to remember me. If she gets it all at once, she'll burn through it and forget where it came from. So I drew up the documents. A spendthrift trust with myself as trustee. Emily would receive quarterly distributions of $50,000 for 10 years. After 10 years, she'd get the remainder in a lump sum, assuming she met certain conditions. Staying employed, no bankruptcy, no criminal activity. Catherine signed it 4 days before she died. Emily was there, but she didn't ask about the money. She held her mother's hand and cried, and for a moment, I thought maybe I'd been wrong about her. Catherine died on November 3rd, 2018. At the funeral, Emily gave a beautiful eulogy, talked about everything her mother had taught her. The church was full. Catherine's former students came, her fellow teachers, people whose lives she'd touched. 2 weeks later, I sat Emily down and explained the trust. Her face changed immediately. A trust? Why did she do that? She wanted to make sure the money was protected, that it would last. Protected from what? From me? Her voice went sharp. I'm a lawyer, Dad. I know how to manage money. It's what your mother wanted. Then we'll change it. You're the trustee. You can modify the terms. I can't, and I wouldn't. This was your mother's decision. She left my house that night barely speaking to me. The first quarterly distribution went out in February 2019. $50,000. Emily called me immediately. This is insulting, she said. Ryan and I have expenses. We need more than this. This is what the trust allows. Change it. No. She hung up. Over the next year, the calls became arguments. The arguments became threats. She'd talk to another attorney. She'd challenge the trust. She'd have me removed as trustee for breach of fiduciary duty. I kept making the distributions. $50,000. Every quarter like clockwork. Then in March 2020, the pandemic hit. My firm went remote. I was living alone in the house Catherine and I had shared for 28 years. Emily didn't call on my birthday that year. Didn't call on Christmas. In 2021, I had a mild heart attack. I was in the hospital for 4 days. Emily didn't visit. By 2022, we hadn't spoken in over a year. The quarterly distributions continued. I'd send brief emails confirming the transfers. She never responded. I thought about reaching out, thought about trying to repair things. But every time I considered it, I remembered Catherine in that hospital bed, telling me she was afraid Emily would waste the money and forget her. In January 2023, I decided to downsize. The house was too big, too full of memories. I put it on the market and got an offer within 2 weeks, $1.2 million. I called Emily to let her know I was moving. She didn't answer. I left a voicemail. She called back an hour later. You're selling the house? Yes. It's too much for me now. Where are you moving? An apartment in Portland, closer to my brother. What about Mom's things? I've kept what matters. The rest I'm donating or selling with the house. Silence. I want to come get some things, she finally said. Of course. When? This weekend. She arrived on Saturday with Ryan and a rental truck. I'd boxed up Catherine's jewelry, photo albums, some furniture I thought Emily might want. I had it all ready in the living room. Emily walked past it, went straight to Catherine's old office. Where are Mom's financial documents? She asked. With my attorney. Why? I need to see them. For what purpose? I'm reviewing the trust structure. I think there might be grounds to challenge it now that you're liquidating assets. I felt something cold settle in my chest. The house isn't part of the trust. It's mine, but the proceeds could be, if Mom intended for her estate to include the marital home. She didn't. The trust is clear. I drafted it. Then I want full accounting. Every distribution, every expense, every fee you've charged. I've never charged a fee. You know that. I want it in writing. I provided the accounting the following week. Every distribution documented. Every quarter accounted for. 0 trustee fees. Her attorney sent a letter claiming I'd mismanaged a trust by not seeking higher returns, claiming the distribution schedule was overly restrictive, requesting modification or my removal as trustee. I forwarded the letter to my own attorney. We responded with the trust document, Catherine's clear intent, and the fact that the trust had actually outperformed the market average. The challenge went nowhere. By law, I'd done nothing wrong. But Emily wasn't finished. In August 2023, she showed up at my new apartment unannounced. I was surprised to see her. Foolishly, I thought maybe she'd come to apologize, to reconnect. "I need you to do something," she said, standing in my doorway, not asking to come in. "What is it?" "Advance me the rest of the trust." "All of it?" "Emily, I can't do that. Ryan's firm is going through restructuring. He might lose his position. We have expenses. I'm sorry about Ryan's situation, but the trust terms are clear. You could if you wanted to. You have discretion as trustee, not unlimited discretion. I have to follow your mother's intent." "My mother is dead." She said it flat, cold. "She's been dead for 5 years. This is my money now." "It's your money when the trust says you can have it. You're doing this to punish me." "I'm doing this because your mother asked me to." "She asked you to control me from the grave?" "She asked me to protect you." Emily looked at me with something I'd never seen before. Pure contempt. "You're a bitter old man," she said. "You can't stand that Mom loved me more than she loved you. This is the only power you have left." She turned and walked away. I stood in that doorway for a long time after she left. The trust was scheduled to terminate in November 2028, 10 years after Catherine's death. At that point, Emily would receive the remaining balance, which with investment growth would be around $2 million. But Catherine had included one provision I hadn't told Emily about, a provision Catherine had insisted on during one of our final conversations. If Emily challenged the trust in court or attempted to remove me as trustee without valid cause, the distribution schedule would extend by 5 years. Any further challenges would convert the trust to a charitable remainder trust, with Emily receiving only lifetime income distributions and the remainder going to a scholarship fund in Catherine's name at her old school. Emily's attorney filed a formal petition in probate court in October 2023. Breach of fiduciary duty. Request for removal and immediate distribution. I didn't want to use that provision. Even after everything, I didn't want to. I called Emily one last time. "Withdraw the petition. Please. This isn't what your mother wanted. What she wanted doesn't matter anymore. It matters to me." "Then you're living in the past, Dad. Mom's gone. I'm here. I deserve this money. You'll get it in 2028. I want it now." She didn't withdraw the petition. The hearing was in December 2023. Emily's attorney argued I was being unnecessarily restrictive, that market conditions had changed, that Emily, as a successful attorney herself, was clearly capable of managing the funds. My attorney presented the trust document, presented Catherine's clear intent, presented the penalty provisions. The judge read through everything carefully, looked up at Emily. "Mrs. Patterson, did you read the trust document before filing this petition?" "I reviewed it with counsel, Your Honor." "Then you were aware of the penalty provisions in Section 12? Silence. I'll take that as a yes. The judge looked at Emily's attorney. "This is a properly drafted, legally sound trust. The settler's intent is crystal clear. The trustee has committed no breach. Petition denied." Then he looked at Emily again. "And pursuant to Section 12 of the trust instrument, the distribution schedule is hereby extended 5 years. Final distribution will occur in 2033. Emily's face went white. She stood up. "You can't. It's in the document you signed off on when you filed this petition. This hearing is concluded." Emily didn't look at me as she left the courtroom. 3 months later, she filed an appeal, claimed the penalty provision was unconscionable, claimed undue influence. My attorney advised me that Catherine had anticipated this too. Section 12 wasn't just about extending the timeline. It gave me discretion to convert the trust if Emily continued. I made the call in March 2024. Converted the trust to a charitable remainder trust. Emily would receive 4% of the trust value annually for the rest of her life. When she died, the remainder, everything, would go to the Catherine Morrison Memorial Scholarship Fund for underprivileged students pursuing teaching degrees. My attorney sent the notification. Emily showed up at my apartment the next day. This time she came inside. Ryan was with her. "You can't do this," she said. She was shaking. "I didn't." "You did. Every step of the way, your mother gave you a choice. That money is mine. That money was your mother's. She decided where it should go." Ryan stepped forward. "Mr. Morrison, be reasonable. We can work something out." "There's nothing to work out. The trust is irrevocable now. Emily will receive her annual distributions. The rest is beyond my control." "You did this on purpose," Emily said. "You wanted this. I wanted you to honor your mother's wishes. That's all I ever wanted. She was trying to control me. She was trying to take care of you. There's a difference." Emily left. I haven't seen her since. That was 11 months ago. The annual distribution went out in January, just over $140,000 based on the current trust value. I sent the confirmation email. She didn't respond. I think about Catherine often. Wonder if she knew it would come to this. Wonder if she'd be disappointed in how it turned out. But then I remember that last conversation. The way she looked at me when she asked me to protect Emily. Not just the money. Emily herself. "She's going to be angry," Catherine had said. "She might hate you for a while. But someday, maybe when she's older, maybe when she has children of her own, she'll understand that love isn't about giving people what they want. It's about giving them what they need." I don't know if Emily will ever understand. I hope she does. I hope someday she'll see that scholarship fund, see young teachers getting opportunities, because her mother believed in education, believed in lifting people up. I hope she'll remember that about Catherine. Not the money, not the trust, just who her mother was. As for me, I'm settled in Portland now. I see my brother twice a week. I volunteer at a legal aid clinic. I'm teaching myself to cook properly for the first time in my life. The apartment is small, but it's enough. And every November 3rd, I go to Catherine's grave and I tell her about Emily, about the scholarship fund, about the teachers who've written to thank the foundation. I tell her I kept my promise. That's all I can do. If this story moved you, please like this video and subscribe to True Experience for more real-life accounts. Share your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever had to make a difficult choice to honor someone's final wishes? We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for listening, friends.